So Asia trade recapped for Tuesday night session. Went into this session bullish. New York had expanded incredibly higher. Um, we had yesterday's high up here, and price was starting to deliver in this 4-hour fair value. So I was looking for some sort of continuation higher. I was bullish. There's no kind of bearish draw at the moment here. As much as you want to say maybe there's equal lows down here or something like that. Just price is trending higher. So kind of just keep it simple. Coming into the session, didn't really see anything initially. Didn't come into this till a bit after, I think 7 p.m. did I actually have a good look. And I think the one thing I did see before it happened, or did see after it happened, was there was a this low here formed an SMT divergence with ES, and it formed that low of the morning almost. And you had this really nice inverse fair value gap set up on the 1 minute, which resulted in higher movement, and of course price took some sort of minor sell side liquidity up on this kind of way back up. My next idea was the trade I actually took. Came bullish, still bullish of course, expecting continuation higher. The way I trade is I look for hourly levels on at least the 1 hour and above. So what I did see here was price kind of started just generating these highs here. Had a few highs that were stacked in here, plus price had all this kind of liquidity and yesterday's high to try and chase up higher. What I saw was that price took, give it a sec, price came into the 9 p.m. macro. We eventually take this low here. Essentially price takes the hourly level, and we have this 1 minute inverse fair value gap set up. So pretty much price confirms here. I'm expecting these highs up here, price to push up above here. I take my entry. I'm targeting at least this initially for maybe 1 or 2 contracts. Maybe overall I want to see something come up to this range here. And I had my stop pretty much below this low here. So still trade there is around 1.5 R&R. Nice manipulation on the hourly low. Manipulation happened in 9 p.m. macro, and I was expecting for that delivery higher. What we had here was that price failed to hold higher. We eventually took out these lows here. I got stopped out, and that was me ended. The only thing I'd say is that price doesn't deliver necessarily not only doesn't deliver in this kind of, you don't really get an entry in the discount range, and it doesn't deliver an hourly fair value. Set up down here delivered on 4-hour fair value, so it kind of was just a really nice kind of discount area for a long. In this case here, you're kind of already in the premium range. Yes, you kind of have these highest aim for, and you're bullish, but it's not as high probability setup as, say, the one I took yesterday. So, yeah, that was Asia. One long setup. Did not work. Cool, we move on. Don't really care that much. So I'll go into a London session now. What do we have? Again, the one thing I say about London was I was more bullish overall on price. Though what I wanted is I wanted to reprice back down. Maybe price takes some sort of relative equal lows down here to deliver a bit lower for higher prices. Problem was we kind of opened You had our Asia highs here where we took that previous liquidity from Asia Open macro, 8 p.m. macro, and it kind of didn't really set up anything amazing. Price action was really choppy to begin. London session off. And looking on the hourly, like there was no real clean liquidity. You had these two lows that were sitting down here, but there was no fair value here. There was nothing that really shined out to me that we had a really good manipulation point. There was no hourly fair value. Nothing quite there in my opinion. Price did deliver in some old 1 minute fair value gap, but it's kind of hard to really picture that being the strong manipulation point. You eventually did get your kind of manipulation leg that happened in 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. macro, but you don't really get a clean setup long. Price keeps on kind of chopping in this range here. Nothing quite clean for us to go off. What we do is, if we have the 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. macro, forms kind of a stronger manipulation move. And then we kind of get this delivery higher eventually, but this is just a very choppy London session. It took a while for anything to kind of really work. Pretty much London was very choppy. It was almost just accumulating liquidity on both sides, looking for a way higher. It eventually makes this move higher, forms some sort of clean manipulation down, and of course you get your displacement and you move higher, but it's kind of hard. You essentially wanted your reprice down earlier for some sort of long setup in discount. Never really got it. Price accumulated and eventually you broke through and took Asia high in this case, but I didn't really see anything good here. So thanks.